Hello, it's Sophie Cockcroft here again, your course moderator. I'm here to tell you this time about Assignment 2. So you would have worked through Assignment 1 and modelled the as-is process, looking at some of the ways that the pet company manage their workflow and how they manage their data. And we're going to look at that in some more detail in Assignment 2, where you propose a solution. So I'm just going to show you the case one more time in the Assignment 2 instructions, which you can see here in front of you. And we'll go through those briefly, and then we'll look in those other two places like I mentioned before. We'll look at the rubric, and we'll look at the overall instructions about requirements and instructions of what you need to submit. So this is basically the same story again. It has really the same background down to about here, and then it says, now you've interviewed the Pampers Pets team and you've established their requirements for the to-be system to address the problems of no-show bookings, unavailability of pet accommodation, and services not being provided. Also, you would have noticed in Assignment 1 it talked you through in some detail how they actually go about booking the facilities. They have a book with all the different kennels in, and they sign a pet into it, and they create a card that has all the pet's details and services while they're there. So now you need to do a whole new time management plan. This time it's for the to-be process, and I'm going to give you a big hint here. As it says, it reflects a typical system development life cycle, including tasks around planning, analysis, design and implementation. So that's what we're aiming for. You're going to show me how you're going to implement this system, or perhaps show Pavlov and his wife how you're going to build this system, including implementation. So you're going to model the to-be system using UML or BPMN, and this is the kind of things you might want to store. You're going to also look very carefully at what you need to store, because one of your tasks is to create an ERD and a normalized data structure. So customer information, that includes the owner and the pet, bookings made, payments, any other data entry or input processes, reporting including invoices, sales summaries, and any other reports you consider necessary. So I think they often in small businesses like this, they want a report of who's paid and who hasn't paid, or a report of their total revenue for the month compared to last month, or those kind of things. So that's up to you. Again, go out and look at the industry standards and find out the type of thing that they would want, and then model it. Okay, so this is getting on to the comparing the as-is and the to-be. So Mrs. Norris is taking the role of change manager, and you have to give her some sort of a note. How does it describe it? A briefing note on how the organisation might be impacted. So this might include things like how we're going to have a phased implementation, whether she needs to hire more staff to do data entry or those type of things. And then we're going to develop an ERD. I want to draw your attention to Module 9 and some associated readings that talk you through how to do normalisation and how to draw ERDs. So these two are quite related. They're both from Module 9. And basically, some of you who've done maybe CIS 5100 would have created a database in Access. This is the design for those databases. So whatever you decide to include in your particular system, there might be slightly different things stored, but you have to identify all the entities in your system. Very often that's looking for the nouns, so there'll be pets and owners and kennels, and then you have to relate them together, and you have to identify those relationships, and then you have to normalize it. But I'll just leave it to you to go and listen to the Module 9 lecture and find out how to do that. Okay, then you have to put in some things about testing, training and system changeover. That could include phased implementation or parallel implementation. Once again, it's in the textbook, so you can make a recommendation that suits pampered pets. That's what you have to do. Alright, so that's the story again about that particular industry and the case that you're going to be working on. I'm just going to show you the other two things that you might look at whilst you're visiting the course page. So we've got the rubric. I'll look at the rubric first. Assignment 2 rubric. Downloading now. So this one is basically how you'll be marked. So those are all the things we just looked at. And if you want to go a bit further down, we can find out exactly what's going to be required. Let's say pick training. What kind of things do you have to write about in training? Portrait management, testing and training. Okay, develop and present a grammatically correct and clear training plan. So you say who's going to be involved and how it will be delivered. Sometimes we do training online. Sometimes we do it in person. That type of thing. So go and read the chapter about training and try to tailor it for this particular organisation. Alright, so that's your rubric. 2 more things now to look at. There's obviously this video that you're already looking at, which is excellent. And the last thing is there's a little book in here, a book of assignments, that gives you some more general information. In every case there's assignment details and assignment instructions. So these cover a lot of the same stuff we've just looked at. Details has the basic tasks to be undertaken, as we've just seen, very similar to what we just saw, only more general. I showed you that within the context of the PETS case study, but this is more general. This could apply to any case study. And the instructions, which is basically how to put your report together. No word length. It tells you to have a cover page, an abstract, a table of contents, and all those good things. And it tells you what to put in each part. So that should be fairly self-explanatory. So what else do I need to tell you? If you have any questions, you can ask Booty Sello, your course examiner. But another place to go that's really good is to go to the forum and ask your fellow students. You'll all be doing slightly different assignments, so it would just be questions of clarification you might be able to find out from them. So as I said in the introduction, we'll be checking the forums, and you could expect an answer within 48 hours on working days, on university working days. But you might get a quicker answer by going to the discussion forum, which also links from here actually. Currently nothing in there, but you can ask your question in there. I would urge you to ask your question with a very clear heading so that it's obvious what you're asking about. Don't bury it deep within some other social forum. Alright, so that's me signing off for assignment 2, and good luck with that. And as I said, any questions, just send an email to the course team. Thank you.